Some of us came back alive. Some of us came back dead. Some of us came back with a little of each. And that would be me. I had death in me. I had death in me. And I still have death in me.
I squat in this corner, and I'm shaking like a leaf, and my teeth are chattering, and I'm praying that I don't want to die. Please, God, I don't want to die.
Dirty little secrets we just never talked about. We just knew what we had to do. Kill them before I kill you. Kill anything that moves.
It's almost like I'm just longing for the hell to be over. I'm longing for the peace of death, I guess, or something, or of non-existence. Because a deep part of myself lost hope, I guess. Lost a sense of hope.
We know from the study of warrior traditions and war throughout history, at all times and places, that the wound we call post-traumatic stress disorder today, in fact, accompanies war. This wound we call PTSD has had over 80 names throughout history. PTSD was called soldier's heart during the American Civil War. Shell shock is the name from World War I. Then World War II comes along and we call it combat fatigue. During the Vietnam War, we were in a horrible quandary of having a condition causing severe breakdown in thousands and thousands of troops, but not having a name for it.
I did not want to go to Vietnam at all. I didn't believe in the war. I didn't believe in killing. I was just in turmoil. I actually got my draft notice early in '68. So I packed my bags and I said, I'm going to Canada. As I was walking out the door, my mother said to me, if you go out that door and you go to Canada, you're never welcome in this house again. And I recognize now when I look back on that time is something within me was longing for an experience. In a way, that was part of the decision to go. And next stop, Vietnam. When I got there, within hours, literally, of heading out to my platoon, I was in a firefight. There was a series of really quick explosions. And then there was a lull, and I heard some guy screaming for a medic. It's just pandemonium. And it was like the longest night of my life. And then when the sun came up that morning, I remember being struck with how beautiful the country was. In the midst of all that, I was still able to, wow, it's, you know, there's life after this long, dark night. And when I was kind of experiencing that, in the meantime, a chopper had landed to take away the dead and wounded. And just as I looked over, they were hoisting one of the bodies on a stretcher, and the guy's leg fell off the stretcher. And the two were so incongruent that something in my soul could not integrate the experience. It just became too drastic, too radical, too split.
I feel like as he's gotten older, his ability to hold in everything he's been holding in for so long, it's not quite so easy anymore. Some nights, you know, like I'll be laying there and he'll wake me up talking. It's usually with him in the jungle telling whoever's with him to be quiet because they're out there. They see us. And it's a little scary because he's just so thick in whatever this experience is that he's reliving.
For years, I felt guilty and I felt dirty. I felt like I participated in something that was against my moral standards. I lost trust in humans, in humanity.
When I was 16, the civil rights movement was alive and well, and there was a lot going on. I respected Dr. Martin Luther King. I also respected Muhammad Ali. It came down to where I wanted, at the age of 17, to go into the Marine Corps. I had mixed emotions, you know, but I honestly thought that I was doing the right thing.
Bless us, charge us, open our hearts and our minds that we might receive your Holy Spirit. For if the praises go up, the blessings come down. Thou shalt not be afraid of the terror by night, nor the arrows that fly by day, nor for the pestilence.
He's always been disconnected, and I try very hard. We have known each other for years. I know that he loves me, but it's not always there, you know, it's not always visible. There's certain things and certain times where he just needs peace and quiet, and he just needs to be alone. And it's not a good thing, you know, when you're in a relationship. I can't do this.
I joined the Marines because I was a punk. I was a badass. No better way to prove it to yourself than go in the Marine Corps. A neighbor had just been killed in Vietnam, too. So that had an effect on me. I said, I'm going to go kick ass. We got to Vietnam, and as soon as we hit the ground, we were in the air. I didn't have any feelings. It was like a blur. We were high all the time. Robert, kid from Brooklyn, black guy. We both went to Middleton Flight School. We had a room together, salt and pepper. We became really close. And he had my back, I had his back. Used to make crazy bets. How many water buffalo we can get. If you ever hit one, they do splat quite a bit. My ghost is coming home alone. That's my ghost.
The North Hudson District Veterans member and past fire chief with over...
I guess what I'd hope would happen for Bob would be that he would find some peace within himself, because it has taken up a large part of who he is. His attention and love and concern is directed to the past and those people that have died in the past. And I don't know specifically what happened when Robert died, but Bob was somehow connected with that.
Thank you all, and God bless America.
My dad was a WW2 veteran, a combat veteran himself. I grew up with a little drawer full of Nazi paraphernalia that he captured in Germany. When I graduated college, you know, I didn't want to work for Exxon or IBM. I wanted to work for the infantry branch of the United States Army I wanted to command a rifle company as an airborne ranger captain. Vietnam was very convenient, and I was very grateful for the opportunity.
He was a company commander. He was in the jungle for 6 months. He trained personally the 100 men who were put under his command, and they were in heavy battle, surrounded by many enemy soldiers.
I thought about nothing but training my men so that I would bring everyone on the back. That was my purpose, and to preserve as much life on our side and to take as much life on the other side as I possibly could.
He knew that it was very painful and difficult for anyone to hear that he might have been a killer. It wasn't until 911 occurred that there was potentially a lot of unresolved emotional issues within him. He became unable to function and couldn't even drive across a bridge. That was the beginning of the major unraveling for him to get help.
My name is Ed Tick. I am a psychotherapist. I've been working as a healer for veterans of the Vietnam War and all other wars since the late 1970s. It is quite common that one event or action becomes the defining moment, the worst trauma, the most horrendous experience of a person's life. When we are talking about life in the war zone, we have an endless series of horrific events. Every survivor wants to go back to the scene of his crime. When blood is spilled, the ground becomes sacred. Each of them waited a lifetime to make a single pilgrimage back to that sacred site, where the most intense moments of their life happened and where everything was rendered different, horrific, and sacred simultaneously. We are here together in part to allow the past to come back to us. Stories of so much pain and loss as my brothers carry get buried in our own minds and hearts and souls because the pain is so immense and because people at home don't want to hear it, can't go into the pain with us. And one of the many reasons we come back is so that our stories can come back to us. It's hard to experience the pain again, but that too is of utmost importance because when the pain comes back, our hearts come back.
I came here as a fanatical, patriotic, well-trained, well-disciplined combat leader. You know, I was airborne ranger qualified. I'd commanded a company in Germany, but I lost about half of the men in my command during November of '67. I never imagined myself being the commander of a heavily hurt unit.
Don't drive yet. Keep
I was a nationalist. I was a patriot. I was not a spiritually awake man. When I found myself spiritually awake, I found myself burdened with not only the responsibility of losing the men. More troubling to me was the lives of the enemy soldiers, the Vietnamese people who I took.
For him, this trip was to let go of that trained killer persona. It's self-forgiveness for him. He had been working on it with psychotherapists prior to being admitted into a treatment program. However, he really didn't know how he could ever fully be forgiven.
Of all the choices I made, I had real problems accepting that I did this. How can I be?
Michael was a radio and telephone operator in the Central Highlands. And his wife is along on this journey. While they seem to have a strong union, they've been married a long time, Michael has not told her his war stories.
They will identify with smoke. Okay, who? Bring the map out. Type of injury is urgent, shrapnel wounds.
So my job was to coordinate all of the artillery and making sure that our artillery didn't fire on our own positions. It was such a high-stress job. I mean, it was just like, it was just intense. It was intense. Anything that happened, they'd call me and I would be responsible for calling the right person or go running to the map and checking coordinates.
The area is insecure. The area is insecure. Urgent, shrapnel wounds.
So I'll just turn that corner.
Yeah.
All the members come up.
Yeah.
Just an emotional ambush. Didn't know it was there waiting. The artillery, every night they would come to me and they would call in their position to me for me to clear it. And every night it was like, okay. And one night I didn't clear it. And about 15 minutes later, I got a call. We got incoming. It feels like it's coming. I could tell it was our explosion. And right away I called the artillery. I quit the next day. I just told the CO, I said, I can't do this anymore.
You kept your brothers alive as long as you could function.
As long as I was able.
As long as you were able. And when you were no longer able, you said, I gotta quit, or else somebody's gonna die who should.
Right.
Thank you.
Larry was a Marine in Da Nang. He too has post-traumatic stress disorder.
Blow his brains out. Remember that one?
Even more complicated for Larry is that he doesn't consider himself a combat veteran. He was in a combat zone. He was bombed, rocketed, and mortared, but he was not in direct hand-to-hand combat himself.
In terms of what I did, I didn't pull the trigger, like some brothers did. I didn't do that. What I do feel bad about, and this is why one reason I like to go to Da Nang, is that what we did going into the city and what have you, we would open up our car doors. Now all these mopeds you see around here, we didn't have it up in Da Nang. Okay, it was tricycles or three-wheelers. Open up the car door, knock them off the bikes or kick them. Just do some things that was really mean, and unnecessary. You know what I'm saying, right? And we looked at them as being the lower of low. See, that's the dual part. And again, I'm a person of color. So then why am I treating them like that? So then you want to say, well, what did I really do this for?
This trip will either make or break Bob and I in a marriage. We know he loves us and cares for us, but he's not emotionally available to us. But he would be there for one of his brother, sister veterans. But I think it's because that's what he knows. That's his comfort zone. He doesn't know about intimate relationships aside from wartime intimate relationships. He's not a bad guy. He's a really good guy. He's just not always, he's not available in the way that it'd be nice to have somebody available.
I got a few ghosts to put to bed. I got a put through those today.
War takes our big, beautiful world and blows it up into a jigsaw puzzle of a million fragmented pieces. And our work here, one story at a time, one veteran at a time, one renewed relationship at a time, is taking all those broken pieces and fitting our fragmented world back together till we can find our place in it and ourselves as we're doing so. Our air war was vicious and brutal and horribly traumatizing to the Vietnamese people. We dropped more than 8 billion pounds of bombs on Vietnam during the war. That is more than 4 times the tonnage of bombs we dropped in all of World War II, everywhere on the planet we were in conflict. That is equal to 600 Hiroshima-sized bombs. When we go to Vietnam, we take American veterans back to places they may have harmed during our bombing raids.
This photo was taken in 1974. Trong này giờ có ai chết không chưa? This is him when he prepared to go to the South in 1973. So 72 he was still a student in this village and he saw the bombing and 170 people got killed in the village.
Trận 12 ngày đêm ở Hà Nội đấy.
Early in the morning, the bomb comes and drops to this village. And it was the very, very terrible experience that he ever knows in his life. And the house collapsed and he was under this bed with his sister and they survived the bomb. But in the village, there were so many people got killed. And even the fish in the rice field were killed. After the bombing, it took them several days to collect the body of the dead people. And it was the hard job for them because sometimes they could not know who was that, and is the man a woman, or even if it's a man or what a buffalo. He could not eat meat for several months after that. He couldn't eat. Yes,
Would you tell him that in December 1972, at that time I was on the island of Guam and I was in charge of those bombers, the B-52s.
Yeah. Ông nói là năm 72 mà anh nói đó là ông này lúc bây giờ là ông đang ở cái đảo Guam. Cái rồi sau đó là ông cũng bị đau. Rồi sau đó là ông làm cái nhiệm vụ là sửa chữa máy bay và bỏ bom lên máy bay. Theo con nào. Ông muốn nói cho anh biết cái điều đó.
I just want to tell him I'm sorry.
Dạ. Ông muốn ông này cũng rất ân hận về cái hành động của ông trong chiến tranh.
I'm sorry, that's all.
Ông chỉ muốn nói với anh một điều là ông rất là ân hận, đau khổ về.
Hearing his story.
Sao bảo anh bảo ông là như thế này. Chẳng qua bây giờ mình.
He said, "Don't worry, Bob, because not all the Americans coming and fighting in Vietnam were the aggressors. They just did their duty because they were ordered to come and do their duty."
Cũng cả những người đi xâm lược là đều có tội cả, mà trong đó phải có một số ít không có tội.
He only blamed the policy makers, but not the individual American soldiers. So don't feel bad about that. Cảm ơn. Cảm ơn.
Come on.
Right.
Every year when we come to Vietnam, we have all of our travelers bring clothing, school supplies, first aid items, health items, and toys. And our philosophy is that we who are responsible for having hurt and destroyed and taken life are responsible for giving back.
But the adults, there's adults that will probably
We've got a compassion house. There's only one 5-year-old boy there, so just a little bit of school supplies. The Delta School services 5 villages, about 30 or 40 children, so they need a lot of supplies.
Cool. All right. Oh, look at this.
Try again. Thank you.
Chúng tôi đang nuôi dưỡng 30 cháu.
In this family, we take care of 30 children.
Tuổi các cháu từ 6 tuổi đến 18 tuổi.
The 30 children here are from 6 years old to 18 years old. Đây con im lặng nha. Nói to nha.
Này bé thơ ơi, em đi về đâu? Này bé thơ ơi, bơ vơ vì đâu? Gương mắt thâm sâu, đói cơm rét nấu. Trôi giặc
You got your finger there, and let me put my finger here. New York.
gương mắt thâm sâu, đói cơm rét nấu. Trôi giạt giữa đời, không nơi nương tựa, lang thang hoài.
I saw the children, I saw the beauty, I saw my grandchildren. I had none of those feelings when I was here before. I didn't see them as children. I just saw Charlie, baby Charlie. I saw them as what they really are, people, living souls.
PTSD is in part proof of a soldier's humanity. They cannot pass through this experience without becoming profoundly troubled by combat. The more destruction one practices and the more morally questionable, the more severe the PTSD. In fact, moral trauma is at the center of PTSD. And troops who return to us or families of survivors are torn to shreds by the question of whether or not their sacrifice and the killing and destroying they did is justifiable.
I do the translation.
You want me sick? Maybe Nip can come over.
Mr. Tiger is a former VC, but he is not like any other VC. He fought in 3 different wars. He fought the Japanese in 41, and he fought the French in 45, and he fought the American in 65. Okay, that's his life.
That's his life, yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. Ông này là
Boom, 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 boom.
How old is Mr. Tiger?
Ông hỏi bác Tám năm nay bao nhiêu tuổi rồi?
87.
87.
God bless you.
So 41 until 75.
Yeah. Yeah.
34 years at war.
Yeah.
What would he say to an American veteran who still feels so bad about what he did that even though he was doing his duty, he did harmful and painful things and still cannot forgive himself?
Người Việt Nam chúng tôi.
In his knowledge, he said there's no PTSD in Vietnam, no wounds for the soldiers in Vietnam. They fought only to protect their country. And that's why they have no problems after the war. And he said, you suffer a lot of psychological problems after the war because you fought in another country, not to protect your country.
Yeah.
Yes. And he said that in the future, if any enemies come and invaded the United States, you have to send your sons to the battlefield to fight for your country. But if they want your son or your husband to go in other countries, don't let them go.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Robin. Your bald head in the book. I stick my head.
Traffic jam at Campanara.
The Montagnards are indigenous peoples of Vietnam.
Me, young boy.
Michael told them and told us that during his time in the combat zone, the Montagnards were the only people who represented a loving and caring human community to him.
Chief, I'm very honored to return here again and feel the love of your people. This is a buffalo tooth necklace. And just as your water buffalo is a symbol to you, the American buffalo is a symbol of strength, courage, and especially gentleness. And if you would be so kind as to accept this from me.
Good. Oh. Put things on the sheet here.
Thank you for everything else.
So, thank you.
Benet.
Benet. The experience last night was unworldly. It was out of this world. It was in some other realm. And then listening to these children this morning opened my heart up. And Valerie says, I feel like I'm in the soul of this country. And yeah, I feel like I'm in my own soul. That my soul is being healed by this country.
Marine Corps installation up here. That's where I was at, baby. Yes.
Where are we going to?
I'm going as far as I can.
Before?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Before
Yeah.
have something here?
Yeah, because if you go all the way down, right, you're gonna be in the valley.
You're going to be in between both towns, Larry, right?
Right.
Larry's caring for a lot of brothers. He's going to the end of the road and we're walking with him. That's what it takes. We'll walk forever.
This is good. Yeah, this is good. You see that mountain right there? You know where that mountain's at?
The mountain, we see it?
Is this the mountain right here?
Yeah.
There was a lot going on sometimes up on the mountain. At nighttime sometimes, right, you can see the trip flares going off.
And you can hear, right, small arm fire.
Oh, I see.
Okay, and then early in the mornings, right, you will go up in the mornings and what have you, right, what you would see around the concertina wire are blobs of blood or maybe some flesh. That's what Hill 327 brings to me, those memories of some friends of mine. Listen, I did some bad things too, you know, to people. I didn't kill anyone, but I did wound people by my behavior and things that I said and done. Calling them goots, okay? Charlie, that's not your name. That's not his name, you know? You are a human being, and I'm a human being, but I didn't act that way. So then from me to you, you know, and all the Vietnamese people, you know, I do humbly apologize for that. All right, so I just wanted to share that too.
Okay.
This is going to be in memory, right, of our homies, right, that I was over here with as well as Bob. This is going to be dedicated to them. Brother Jack, Brother Beemore, Brother Robert, Brother Johnson, Brother Washington, and here's to you, bros. God bless you all. Hill 327, that's where they were at. Peace be unto you.
I feel if I went back to where we went down, that maybe Robert would tell me not to go off, go on with life.
We went straight down. I guess they didn't think we had any survivors. A couple of us were thrown from the door. I don't recall any of it. The only thing I recall in my dreams, and I hope it's not true, it's the same dream. I just pray that's not what. I thought Robert could throw for it.
Do your dedication right here. All right. Let's do it, man.
I had no control over it. But we promised each other.
Mm-hmm. But you guys would come home together.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're saying.
We were supposed to leave together, we didn't. But you did leave that day with me because I think of you every day.
It's okay, Bob. Let's go.
Every day I think of you. Every day you're in my heart. I love you, man.
Yeah, here's to the brother, man. It's Brother Robert. It's okay, Bob.
Buddhism provides great wisdom in the interpretation and potential relief of post-traumatic stress disorder symptoms. And we have found that it works.
I've never been to a pagoda, and I never prayed with the Vietnamese. We're reaching out to them, and they're reaching out to us, so we're coming together. So it was different for me. I never did it before when I was here.
I had the thought in this prayer that all the time that we were blowing the place up, these humble Buddhists were praying this prayer all over this country. What a contrast.
Nhân quả luân hồi nó quay tròn.
We believe strongly in circle of life and the karma. So if you do anything in your life and you feel not good about that, you feel sorry about all that, and if you want to redeem it, then you have to make prayer yourself from your heart. Open your heart and love everyone.
These people are so beautiful. Basically, their whole thing is, what is there to forgive? You know, so you have to search your own heart and your own mind, you know, and find peace in that.
Marines up front. Okay. Xin chào.
Xin chào.
Xin chào.
Yeah. I watched some, but you know what I mean?
Anh lo tổng đi, tại vì ông này lo cho cậu đó. Vâng. This is the man that we give the water buffalo to. With your money, he bought one buffalo and one baby. He said that a water buffalo is a main power in the house that helped me with my farming work. We irrigate the rice field. We get water in that and make the soil soft and muddy. And they can rent the water buffalo to earn more money.
Hey, little guy.
Little girl.
Little girl,
Come here, little girl. Come on, girl.
I'm looking at that water buffalo and it just makes me think of what I used to do to those things. I tested the guns on them every day, every chance I had. Actually, we had one crew who paint one on their ship every time they nailed one. They had, I can't imagine how many they had on there. We had no idea what we're doing to these people when we did that. Okay.
Try it.
I was here many years ago, and I never looked around and saw. I'm looking around now, and I'm sorry for my scars I left here. I ask your forgiveness.
But now I'm found, was blind, but now I see.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. That's it right there, man. Yeah.
That wasn't me that did that.
We tried to get convoys of resupplies up here, via this road. But it was so important for them to ambush us before they got the supplies to the airstrip, which is here.
Right.
These are the dog tags that I wore when I was here in Vietnam in 1967 and 68. Yeah, a missionary mercenary of the American people. Mm-hmm. Now I want a clean break. Oh, man. Oh.
You scream for your soul and your soul screams back.
Oh my Jesus. I see you day and night, oh my brothers. I couldn't save them all. I saved some, but I couldn't save some. I can wish for nothing more anymore. I've done all I could, you know. Yeah. And it's up to God now. I just can't do anymore. Can't do anymore. I just had like a little kid idea that I could bring them all back, you know?
Yeah.
A childish idea,
No,
you know?
it was a wonderful idea. It was a wonderful idea.
Very honorable. Very honorable.
It did bring some back.
Michael, both of you say, more came home because of me. That's the truth, and that's the most you can ever do in war.
I want that truth.
Claim it.
Say it again. Say it again.
More came home because of me. I need to remember that. I need to remember that. Remind me of that, will you?
So look into my eyes and say it together really deep.
More came home because of me. Ooh.
Mantra.
Yeah.
Do it again.
More came home because of me. 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 More came home because of me.
I know it. And you came home. You came home. You're the gift that came home.
So I want to say goodbye to what was my identity. These pathetic little pieces of metal, plastic. Pathetic.
was an important trip for me to take. It helped me out a lot. It gave me a better understanding of myself. In terms of reconciliation and the healing part of that journey, gave me that opportunity as well to make amends for things, right, that I did do over there that weren't correct. The injustices, right, that I imposed on others. You know, the Bible speaks to that too. You know, the person that you offended, you should be able to go to that person and look that person in the eye and say, I'm sorry. And then that's on that person to either accept that. And the Vietnamese people, right, they had no problem accepting it. And for the monk that gave me the beads, that was a special moment in itself. That was an act of kindness, a gift of giving, and that was redemption in itself.
When he came back, I was surprised to hear we are going to get married. And I've known him over 25 years. He's never been married either. He made a commitment.
So redemption, for me, in my tradition, it's the exchange of a voluntary sacrifice for a blessing that is given. And the biggest change for me was in my relationship with Anita and my family. There was a substitution of openness for the guardedness that I'd carried for many, many years. And I had a lot of defenses, and they just dropped away.
I did not want to go back to Vietnam. I really had no desire to go back there, trust me. I mean, once was enough, and I'm so glad I did.
Wow. I guess we're all going to get wet feet.
Earth, it means the world to me, actually. Without being able to feel my feet on the ground and connect and anchor myself into the earth, it feels like I would fly off the planet sometimes. So I've spent a lot of time in healing all the energy of the trauma up here to bring my attention down into my feet. That's why I like to go barefoot. It helps me stay grounded, present.
He's able to be emotional and be honest about, what's really happening for him, which I don't think he did very easily prior to this, this journey of returning to Vietnam.
And I'm for the first time can say that I no longer am waiting for the bullet. I really like to be alive.
The same suffering goes on consciously or unconsciously, but we have to make the suffering conscious in order to achieve healing.